Hi there, it's Lila. If you're considering a trip to Japan, I've got some essential information to share that will put your mind at ease before you arrive. Today, I'm excited to walk you through how to buy tickets and ride the Tokaido Shinkansen, the high-speed train connecting Tokyo and Kyoto, perfect for first-time visitors. And don't miss my next video, where I'll show you how to rent a bicycle around Tokyo. The summer heat is starting to subside, so I think cycling for sightseeing from mid-September to around November is the best. Most of you will likely arrive in Japan by plane, right? After that, the Shinkansen is the most convenient way to travel domestically. Sure, flying on domestic flights isn't bad, but airports aren't usually in city centers, and you have to be there at least 30 minutes in advance, leading to extra waiting time. When you compare the total time, the Shinkansen often ends up being faster, so I definitely recommend it for trips from Tokyo to Osaka or Kyoto. Japan has 10 types of Shinkansen. The most popular one is the Tokaido Shinkansen, which connects Tokyo and Osaka. Before COVID, it transported an incredible 240 million passengers annually. There's also the Joetsu Shinkansen, which goes from Tokyo to Niigata, the Tohoku Shinkansen to Sendai, and the Hokkaido Shinkansen connecting Honshu and Hokkaido. The Shinkansen started operating between Tokyo and Osaka in 1964, and since then, the trains have improved in speed and frequency, making it a beloved high-speed rail service. In the future, there are plans to introduce even faster maglev trains, but that won't be until after 2027. There are 4 ways to buy tickets. JR X, mobile app/PC. JR Ticket vending machines. At the JR Ticket Center in person. Through travel agencies like JTB or Kinki Nippon Tourist. This is my recommended order. If you're only riding once, installing an app might feel like a hassle, but even for a one-way trip, you can save about 1,000 yen by using the app, definitely worth considering. You can pay by credit card with any method. The JR Ticket Center used to be available at almost every station, but since summer 2021, they've been significantly reduced, only about 30% remain. There are 30 stations on the Yamanote line, but only 10 have a JR Ticket Center. You'll need to stand in line, and it can get crowded depending on the time of day. If you're visiting multiple cities, like going from Tokyo to Osaka, then to Kanazawa and Iwate, it's best to buy tickets at the JR Ticket Center so you can consult with staff. The longer your journey, the more ways there are to save, so talking to someone there can be really helpful. For simple round trips, buying online or at a vending machine is a great choice. Travel agencies can also help you buy tickets if they have English-speaking staff, but keep in mind that any refunds for tickets bought through a travel agency must be done there, so be aware of that. If you plan to travel back and forth between Tokyo and Kyoto frequently or might change your plans a lot, I highly recommend using the app. It allows you to change your tickets up to 10 minutes before departure, and you can make changes as often as you like. Plus, you can get discounts through the app. Buying from a vending machine costs the same as at the JR Ticket Center. But you won't have to wait in line, making it super convenient. I'll explain how to use the vending machines later on. Is the Shinkansen always on time? The Shinkansen is usually very punctual. Even a delay of just 1 minute will be announced on the train. However, it can be affected by typhoons and snow. Recently, they've implemented planned suspensions to reduce the number of people left stranded without accommodation or stuck overnight on the train, so be cautious about that. I've made a related video for anyone coming to Japan from August to October or in January to February who plans to ride the Shinkansen, so check it out. About the JR Pass. If you're debating whether to buy a JR Pass, consider how many long-distance trips you plan to take. There was a significant price hike in the fall of 2023. Previously, just a round trip between Tokyo and Osaka and a little sightseeing nearby made it worthwhile, but now you'd need to take a few more Shinkansen rides to get your money's worth. Additionally, to ride the fastest Shinkansen, Nozomi, you'll need to pay an extra fee, so it's not the best option for those with a tight travel schedule. About Shinkansen tickets. Now that you have a rough idea of the price differences, let's talk about buying tickets. When you purchase a Shinkansen ticket, it includes 2 components. The fare for the long distance, and the limited express ticket for the premium speed. Types and differences of Shinkansen. The Shinkansen connecting Tokyo and Osaka has 3 speeds. Nozomi, fastest with fewer stops. Hikari, mid-speed. Kodama, stops at every station. The first 3 cars of the Nozomi Shinkansen have unreserved seating, while cars 4 to 16 have reserved seating. Among those, there's a green car for a more premium experience. In unreserved and reserved seating, there are 5 seats in a row, while the green car has only 4, with more spacious seating and plush carpets that make it feel luxurious. However, the price difference can be around 5,000 yen for a trip from Tokyo to Kyoto. Another type of reserved seating I'd like to introduce is the S-Work car, designed for customers who want to work during their travel time. In this car, you can use mobile devices and have web meetings without disturbing others, as noise is generally accepted as mutual consideration. There's also an S-Work P seat that offers a wider space for 2 people. It costs an additional 1,200 yen but includes a cup holder and seems super comfortable. If you ever need to work on the go, I recommend it. If you miss your reserved seat, you can board an unreserved car on the same day. For Nozomi, the unreserved cars are usually 1 to 3. It can get crowded on weekday evenings and Saturday mornings, but aside from peak times like Golden Week or summer vacation, you typically won't have trouble finding a seat. If you're worried about getting a spot in the unreserved section, I suggest boarding from the first station, like Tokyo Station if you're headed to Kyoto. When returning from Kyoto, taking the Shinkansen from Osaka rather than ones from Hakata or Okayama increases your chances of finding an unreserved seat. Also, you can store large luggage without extra fees, but you do need to make a reservation. Large luggage is defined as having a total length exceeding 160 centimeters. There are designated spaces at the back of the car or on the deck where you can place your bags. If you don't reserve that space, you could incur an additional fee of 1,000 yen. So don't forget to make that reservation. How to reserve via SmartX. Now, let's dive into how to make reservations using SmartX. From PC, just need to make an account. From smartphone, you need to download the app. Then, register as a member and start your reservation. Click Shinkansen Ticket button. Input the date and approximate time you want to travel. Choose your departure and arrival stations. The default setting is Tokyo to Nagoya. You'll need to change the destination by selecting from the list. If you want to reserve space for large luggage, select here. You can choose either the back seat space or the deck locker space. You can also book an S-Work P seat. Unfortunately, both S-Work P seat preference and large luggage selection cannot be combined in the same trip. Press Done. Then press Search. And select your desired train from the options. The green car is a premium seat with only 4 seats in a row, while the standard seats have 5, which are a bit narrower. The next step is to choose a seat. You can let the app select it for you, or you can choose it yourself. If you want to select a seat, I highly recommend choosing Seat E. If you sit in Seat E from Tokyo and go back to Tokyo on a sunny day, you can catch a glimpse of Mount Fuji from the window. Press Purchase, and you're done. Your reservation will appear here. To change a reservation, select your reservation history and update your time or train. Using XIC reservation, canceling comes with a fee, but changing your departure or arrival stations is free. To change a reservation, first select Reservation History. Click on Change, then choose whether you want to change the time or date, and proceed with the update. The rest of the process is the same as when making a new reservation. To receive the QR code for your ticket, click the My Page icon at the top right. Then, click Issue Pickup Code. Check your registered email. You'll receive a message from yoyaku@expressway.jp. In that email, there's a 6-digit code. Copy the code, and you'll be able to view your QR code. When you go to the vending machine, press the button and scan your QR code. You'll need to enter your app passcode, and then you'll receive the paper ticket. One thing to note is that on SmartX, you can only choose Shinkansen stop stations as your departure and arrival points. If you're staying in Shinjuku, for example, you'll need a separate ticket to get from Shinjuku to Tokyo Station. At the Shinkansen ticket gate, insert your paper ticket first and then tap your Suica to enter. Buying from the vending machine. If you're buying from a vending machine, here's how it works. First, select the vending machine with the Shinkansen symbol, framed in light purple or green. This time, I go through how to reserve seat. Start by choosing your language. If you want a reserved seat on the Shinkansen, select that option. If you prefer a non-reserved seat, choose this option. Next, select a reserved seat for the Shinkansen. Choose the Tokaido line. Specify your departure station, then select the station where you'll get off the Shinkansen. Specify the date and the approximate time. Enter the number of passengers. Choose the bullet train you want to take. If you have large luggage, make a reservation for luggage storage. You can either let the machine select your seats, or you can choose them yourself from the seat map. You'll be shown available seats in each car. Select a car. This Shinkansen seems a bit crowded, so you can't sit together. You may need to select separate seats. Of course, if you change the boarding time, the reservation status will change. Before boarding the Shinkansen, choose the station you'll board from. Even if you have a Suica card, you can get a discount for long-distance travel by purchasing a paper ticket from the station where you'll board. You'll be presented with your reserved train car and seat number. If you're satisfied, press confirm. You can pay by credit card or cash. That completes the process. Be mindful of high ticket prices. Do you know when the busiest travel seasons for Japanese people are? They are during the New Year holidays, Golden Week, and Obon. During this period, all Nozomi seats will be changed to reserved seats. If you happen to miss a Nozomi train during this time, you'll only be able to take the Hikari or Kodama trains, so be cautious. Or you can ride standing up all the way to the Nozomi deck. Everywhere gets crowded during these times, so it's best to avoid visiting Japan altogether if you can. When you arrive at the station, inside the ticket gates, you'll find a coffee shop and even bento shops. In the past, there were onboard salespeople walking around with snacks, but that's no longer the case. Now, only the green cars offer a QR code service for ordering bento and coffee. Still, options are limited, so it's best to grab your food and drinks before boarding. My personal favorite is the Sujita ice cream. It's creamy and delicious. Even though onboard sales have stopped, you can still buy it from vending machines before you board. Getting to the Shinkansen platform. To board the Shinkansen, first enter the junior ticket gate. Then, inside the station, proceed through the Tokaido Shinkansen gate to reach the platform. At Tokyo Station, you'll see blue signs for the Tokaido Shinkansen and green signs for the Tohoku Shinkansen, so head towards the blue ones. The ticket counters for the Tokaido and Tohoku Shinkansen are separate. Go through the blue ticket gate. Let's read the paper ticket. Nozomi 242, car 990 seat. Now, I'll show you how to find your seat. This is paper ticket with mobile app. Nozomi number 33, car number 912E seat. First, note that the platform number isn't printed on the ticket. You'll need to check the electronic board for that information. Head to the platform indicated by the number on the board. Look for your car number, it should be displayed here. Once you find your car, wait in front of the door. The seat numbers are on the wall. Here it is. If you have a reserved seat, you don't need to wait in line, but many Japanese people have a habit of lining up to board. Ticket inspection. If you're in a reserved seat or the green car, there is no ticket inspection. The conductor will pass by without saying anything, as they are checking the reservation system against the actual seating position. In non-reserved cars, a ticket inspector will check whether you have both a train ticket and a limited express ticket. And they will stamp your ticket. Be sure to keep your ticket easily accessible. If you are sitting in the wrong reserved seat, you may be asked to show your ticket. A few years ago, there was an incident where someone wielded a weapon on a train. And since then, security personnel have also been riding to ensure safety during travel. Can you charge your devices on board? These days, our smartphones and electronic devices are essential, right? You can charge them on the Shinkansen, but keep in mind that there are only power outlets, no USB ports available. So, make sure to have a USB adapter. In the green cars, there's usually one outlet at each seat, while in other cars, you'll typically find one by the window. If you want to charge 2 devices at once, you'll need a splitter. Restrooms and trash bins. There's a restroom located in every 2 cars, and they are kept very clean, so you can use them with peace of mind. There are also trash bins available, so be sure to throw away any waste from your snacks or drinks either in the train's bins or the ones on the platform when you exit. Spotting Mount Fuji during the day. About 40 minutes into your ride from Tokyo Station, you'll catch a glimpse of Mount Fuji. Make sure to snap a photo before you head to Kyoto. If you're sitting in an E-seat on the right side, you'll have a great view. If you couldn't book an E-seat, you can always head to the deck for a window view. Just remember, sometimes clouds can obscure the peak even if the weather is nice, so keep your mind's eye open. Onboard Wi-Fi. There's free Wi-Fi on the train. It's easy to use if you have Japan Wi-Fi Auto Connect/Wi-Fi installed. This video will provide more details. I've also made a video about free Wi-Fi options in Japan, so I'll link that below. The Wi-Fi in the S-Work cars is a bit faster, but in other cars, it can be quite slow, making it hard to watch YouTube videos. Now that you've got the basics down, it's time to plan your trip. The Shinkansen is one of the best and most convenient ways to travel throughout Japan. If you have any questions, leave a comment below, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you in my next video.